that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Weather weapons. We're seeing them every single day. Long track tornado, 63-mile long track on one of the tornadoes. We're at least up to 3 deaths. Kill confirmed. I don't know what's going on with you, Iggy, out there in chat, but if you want to get blocked, keep talking crap out there. Anyway, here we go. We're going to jump right into this. So let me pause this just to see if we have any tornado warnings right here off the bat. And sure enough, we still have tornado warnings going on right now in Alabama. We're just going to jump into a few articles and we'll jump back into weather. First, let's check this, see what's going on. Tornado warning for northwestern Perry County, in central Alabama, east central Hale County, and west central Alabama, Bibb County in central Alabama. This is a radar indicated rotation, which we'll see if we can find it here. And let me make sure I'm on the... It's probably going to be right in this one. I haven't got to see if this thing is updating here. All right, I can already see the microwave pulses going on with this thing. But anyway, let's let this run through. We'll check the Twitter feed here in just a second. That'll give us the most up-to-date damage and information. And one thing we're going to see about this storm is the lightning is insane with this storm. That's from all the particles that have been injected into the sky to help fabricate these storms. And we'll show you how this storm was set up several days ago, and we were watching it, we called it, and then here it is, man, right on time, just like every single storm. In fact, let me go ahead while this is loading up all the way. Let's go ahead, and what we're looking at here is just the lightning. Let me play this through. And I'll show you how we got all this lightning right here. This lightning isn't from the heat of the sun. This isn't from the solar minimum. This isn't from climate change. I'm going to show you exactly what made this storm so electrified, so powerful, that we're seeing what we're seeing tonight. Let's go ahead and check the Twitter feed before we get into there. Damaging wind, likely tornado along this line. This is still a distance away. So there it is right around Calera. The thing is moving straight east. Let's go down here and look at some of the photos. So we got severe damage. A few photos from tonight's. This is in Laurel. Look at that car destroyed. That's a mattress from somebody's house. So we got major damage on a long path. Tons of videos coming out. Look at that damage right there. Aerial view of the Hope Baptist Church and School in Alexandria. So that's a major damage right there. Crappy photo quality. Nighttime tornadoes, we talked about that in the forecast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter because these are all fabricated tornadoes. They're not normal weather patterns whatsoever. Let's get down here where we can see. This thing's updating pretty quick. Yeah, tornado spawning storms kill 3 people in the south. So that's in the Piggly, Wiggly, and Laurel. I know there was some really good images of this stuff. Got this guy shooting out of his backyard or something, man. He should have been taking cover right there. So that's a little bit close. You don't want to mess with these things, man. I know people want to get footage, but these things mess you up. Man, what's it doing? Just keeps read. Let's try this one. So if you're familiar with the area, you probably know exactly where this is. There's a hospital right there, so it must have been really close to the hospital. You turn right to the hospital on that road right there. So yeah, man, big time weather events. We're going to see how this storm was set up. And I know there was some more footage. It's just, it's updating so fast. They're probably way down here at the bottom. So yeah, we got several people that are going to be without a home tonight. I know there was some drone footage. Yeah, that's a monster right there. And Twitter keeps doing that stupid update thing. I'm having all kinds of issues here lately. I can't. Every time I try to upload to Brighton or BitChute, it just sticks on processing. Like I can't upload any videos to any other site except for YouTube and DLive. Where'd I want to go? I guess I'm going to knock these articles out real fast, and we'll jump into all the weather stuff and how it got there and all that. Officials, amount of mercury minimal after a spill in West Houston, no threat to the public. You know, at first they said there was like 60,000 gallons of mercury that spilt. And now, you know, they're saying, it's not that bad. So if you're in that area, you need to watch out for that. So what would you spend to prevent climate change, and what you could get with your money? See, this is what all this weaponized weather is about. It's about how much money will you pay for the climate control. This is exactly what this is about. And this is actually coming out of Australia here. As the country burns, temperatures rise, climate change is once again at the forefront. But it's not really climate change, it's climate control. More than 54,000 Australians took part in a nationally representative. And one thing they all said that was keeping them up at night was climate change. See, this is all lies. I accidentally hit the button, so it's probably going to switch the page. Let me back it up, because we got to get into that, because this is what it's all about. Well, at least one phase of it. So what they're saying is some people wouldn't spend anything more than 21 cents. Some were happy to spend thousands, up to 9%. But some of us sit somewhere in the middle. On average, we're willing to chip in at least $200 a year to halt climate change. We need to make major changes to the way the world works, so an extra couple of $100 a year would even make a difference. See, that's so these people apparently do not have no idea of what they're doing to their skies. So we have 54,000 Australians that have no freaking clue that the weather has been weaponized on purpose to take your money. It's just getting crazy, man. Canadian firm announces a mass timber plant in Arkansas. A Canadian-based timber manufacturer that Walmart has invested in is spending $90 million to open a plant in Arkansas. If climate change was real, they'd be planting trees, not cutting them down. This is all, you know, and of course Walmart's involved, the dark side. The mega corporations just keep getting richer, and they want you to foot the bill. You're already paying for the weather control through your water bills, through your electric bills. Like a furnace, massive heat wave could roast Australian records. You know, they keep talking about how they're getting some of the hottest temperatures in 120 years. What was it 120 years
Kelly
ago?
Haywood, thank you. Now, that heat wave from Perth is moving east to...
That about blew my eardrums out. Hopefully it didn't blow yours out. You know, if it was hotter than it is now 120 years ago, was it climate change 120 years ago? And you got this going on. Sydney fears mega fire could hit a coal power station and a coal mine. Now this would create some global cooling. So the Gospers Mountain mega fire could burn through a coal power station and mine in the coming days. In a statement, Greenpeace, see, that's a corrupt climate agenda company, said local companies could be in grave danger as a large fire burned towards Springvale coal mine and an abandoned power station. The fire was also burning towards Blackman's Flat, which is close to Mount Piper Power Station, and they stock large stockpiles of coal. But in the meantime, you have this massive museum going up. How much was this museum? Is in the billions. Also, you have, you hardly ever hear about the earthquakes going on in Australia. We talked about the volcanoes, the 400 volcanoes last night down there, which they're saying they can erupt anytime. Now you got seismologists say earthquakes in the last 24 hours are the biggest to hit the region in more than 10 years. So they had a 3.8 struck yesterday around 3:30. Another one 4.4 an hour later. Another one around 6 o'clock. So, some of these places are they're completely targeted for the New World Order plan, the Agenda 2030. Well, you could take this burn map right here. This is the bushfire outlook update. You could take this map and line it right up with the high-speed railway, and it will line up perfectly, even down in Tasmania. This is a land grab. Same thing they did in California. Down in Paradise now, you got companies coming in, buying up the properties. Governments are coming in there, buying up the properties. Most people will never see their property again. Blue-green algae restricts water use for people in the Red Cliffs near Mildura. This is just more stuff going on down in Australia. Toxic water. Also had a dustnado down there. All right, let's go ahead. That's about all the little articles we had for tonight. But old boys, that people keep trying to say, let me go show you right now. Let's jump into the worldview map. We'll show you how this storm was set up. This is today. Let's go on back a couple days. Remember yesterday I was talking about these crazy spraying operations out here around the Fort Worth, Texas area? And up around our Amarillo, and then we had the bunker fuel operations down here. Let's go back another day. Out here off the West Coast, we had this major bunker fuel operation, putting the high amounts of sulfur into the sky, mixing up here with the cold north wind that's going to be coming down. So we go back here to the 12th. We had even a worse bunker fuel operation down a little bit farther south down here off the coast of the Bajas. I mean, just mega bunker fuel operation out here. Tons of ships out here deploying the clouds, the most toxic clouds on the planet. This is when they set up for the storm. We could zoom in here right into the path that's happening right now. Louisiana, parts of Texas, Alabama, complete grid zone. They gridded this whole area for days on end. There was no reason for this to be a long track tornado event. So this is on the 12th. We go to the 13th. Look, it's already cloud covered. No heating. You might have hot humidity down low. One clear day on the 14th. Completely cloud covered yesterday. Should have been no superheating. And then when you get to today, they needed one more ingredient for this to turn into what it turned into. Of course, you got the high flyers. Well, let's just kind of zoom in here. What are they doing here? They needed the heating. So what they do, they put up another operation over here on the east to suck this in. This is all a different kind of spray out here. This is a different kind of ingredient to get this thing to fire up. You can see by the looks of it, it's not a typical chemtrail cirrus cloud. This is a different mix. It's being pulled into the storm. Let me just check the layers here because you can see the frequencies in the clouds. I'm just trying to find the good layer to pull this out. And they're still dumping aerosols all over Alabama. Where the aerosols are being deployed is where the storms are going. So you could see the aerosols are being deployed. You know, a regular plane is not going to fly into a storm, especially a tornadic storm. In fact, we may have to go back to, well, we can see the frequencies over here, but let's go back one day. Here's where you see the frequencies to help get the heat going. This is not like snow on the ground. These are the frequencies going through the clouds. These are not microwave or gravity wave clouds. This is because the ionosphere is being heated. There's manipulation going on here. That's why these clouds look so weird. There's electric in here. There's electricity, radio frequencies, and it shows in the clouds. They can't hide this stuff. Get back up to today, and then one big smoke curtain right down the middle. And like I said, you got this new kind of cloud injection down here off the coast of Florida, and you can follow this all the way up. We got more frequencies all over Alabama, right where the storms are heading. The storms are following the chemtrails. It happens every single time, every single major storm. You always had the bunker fuel. Where are they at today? We'll see if they're on here. There's just a few. Well, no, there's a little bit more, but there's a one right there. There's a little bit of a grid pattern. Down here at the tip of the Bajas, we got some real light aerosols being deployed down here. And then here they are. They're actually right off the coast of San Diego. So they've split up. And we'll see if the other two operations are still going. It may not be low enough, far enough to tell. Some nights this thing is lagging behind. So I'm not seeing the operation that was out here. There was an operation just straight down for the Aleutian Island chain. And then there was an operation off the Kamchatka Peninsula. And they're just not out here today. So all them guys are done. But yet you still have this going on over here off the West Coast. They're seeding from the backside. They're seeding in the front. They're hitting it with frequencies. And they can actually steer tornadoes. They can steer the lightning. We've gone over that in previous shows. We have to go back and look at that stuff. So look at the grids they're setting up over North Carolina. Let's check that layer, see what it turns into. It's just not a... This map is running really slow tonight. So yeah, they're definitely, you know, these are targeted aerosols right here. Let's go take a look at the radars. Actually, I could probably put it on the bigger. Let me slow this down a little bit. I had this thing ramped up a little bit. Let me put this on the actual radar here so we can see what this thing looks like. So if we can get this baby to load, man, everything's just kind of running like really slow. So now we're going to see how these storms heated up and fired up. Here's that line that we've been watching. That definitely has a contributing factor right there. I probably need to turn the lighting and stuff off. It's just too much to look at. So we'll take the lighting off. See if that helps. Hey, thanks out there, Kim. Yes, a lot of people seen it out there. Thanks out there, Cindy. Let's go ahead and put this on the cirrus layer and just see what we get. See if we can pick up some of this aerosols. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the watches and warnings right now. We'll check the other one. I just want to see what this looks like. Put a little, yeah, look at all the aerosols being deployed, all in the zone where the severe weather is. We had the frequencies yesterday, the bunker fuel for the last 4 days. Really strong storm up around the Tennessee area. You could see the height of the storm was just way up there. Man, this thing is really dogging tonight. So complete grid on both sides of the storm. Now what I want to do though is look at the cold air mass coming down, because there's something I'm noticing here. Let me back this up a couple days. Or really, it can't even be a couple days. It's just got to be a few hours here. So let me back this thing up. All right, so there's that line. That's the line I was looking at. That was yesterday. So these lines right here, the freaky lines, the freaky aerosols right here, they had a purpose. They're out here by themselves. And I talked about how they're completely lined up with the bunker fuel operations. And when you go back, you can see the trough was right here. If you go up 3 hours at a time, it's all lining up like perfectly with the storms. And then right where the storms fired up, engineered. You got the rotating winds right there. Winds coming from 3 different directions. Pretty crazy. You have a spinning pressure right at Bermuda's, right in the eye wall of that pressure right there. That's called the Bermuda High. See, we have high pressure all over here. and we're getting snowstorms. Let me just look at the... All right, so here's the 3-hour precipitation amount. Let me make sure we're on now. So we're talking flooding rains. See if this tells me how much. So about an inch every 3 hours. So the longer it sits there, the worse it's going to get. We'll see the energy. So when you go to look at the Cape, the potential energy from the surface is not really showing hardly anything. And let me back this up to see when these fired up. So this was how many hours ago? Let me get it, make sure I'm on now. We'll go back 3 hours, 3, 6, 9. So yeah, there was some energy there to work with, but it didn't get put there by the winds, because the cold air is heavier than the hot air. It should be pushing this energy back out to the Pacific, or yeah, back out to the Gulf of Mexico, not the Pacific, which it kind of does. See, that cold air is pushing that energy until it combines right in that trough zone, and bam, you have the tornadoes. Thanks to all the aerosols making it more electrified. And let me just check this thing right now. So 9:02 was the last tornado warning. And let me look here. Let me put the man, I can't put the radars on here at the same time. Well, let's just look at this real quick, and we'll go look at that. No tornado warnings right at this minute. So the aerosols are just feeding into the southern part of the storm. May want to zoom in on there. Yeah, there's actually quite a few really powerful storms there. Some of them were up in the Tennessee area. Yeah, look at how these fired up where the cold air actually is. And there's the first wicked storm. Look at the flight path right there. So the aerosols were being deployed. This is all time stamped. 1341 UTC time. Here's all the aerosols all the way around this whole thing. Then you got a secondary spraying program up over North Carolina, Virginia's. See, look at that. Look at these guys just laying them out there. 1901 UTC time. So they were spraying them up, right on up until nighttime. And we can't see nothing right now. So hopefully these things will wind down for the rest of the night. Let's put this on a bigger picture just to get the full scope of the United States. Here comes the cold air mass behind it. So not only would you be, you know, this cold air mass is going to go pretty far down. So people are going to be, you know, if they still have their cars left and they're having to stay in their car, they're going to be really cold. So really, that's the major spraying operations. There's a few there off California, but really it's kind of wound down over the midsection. There's probably setting up for the next storm here, or they're reloading. No spraying going on over North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. That's the first free day of aerosols in quite a while. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like, if you guys live out there, what kind of was it the where you got the thunder where it never stopped, like the first lightning bolt, and then it sounds like a train rolling through? That's pretty much how the last several storms have been. You'll get one bolt of lightning, and then the thunder starts like a train, and it never stops till the storm's miles and miles away. So we definitely have aerosols being deployed with the bunker fuels. Let me put this on the microphysics so we can see the bunker fuel operations. I can already see a few X's down there. The dark blue lines are the chemtrails. Oh, they're still out here. Straight out here, way out here in the Pacific. There's still a secondary bunker fuel operation being deployed. That's for the next storms that'll be coming up over the upper northwest. So this thing is still messed up. So it looks like some of these ships are heading up north. Actually, you got one that's going down. The rest of them are headed up north. And then you have another, see, they're getting ready to bust off another hunk of the low pressure to send it up. It actually looks like it's going to be heading right over towards California. We can always check the RAM slider to verify. Let's see if this thing will even play. The internet's really kind of sucking tonight, guys. Alright, let me see if I can get over to the west side here. Then we'll be able to actually see the bunker fuel operations. Like, we have to document this stuff because when these weather events happen, then we have proof that these particulates were being injected into the sky and affecting the climate. They're affecting the weather, affecting the climate. Trying to get this to the layer. Yeah, I got way too many images. Let me cut these images down. So yeah, they're not standing out real heavy. You know, it's kind of a light deployment here, but they're still releasing them. And then you had the secondary one over here. I'm trying to get it to where it goes into night because it shows up much better in the dark. Yeah, it's not going to let me take it that far. All right, this thing's just running like not good. Here's a secondary bunker fuel being deployed. Let's see if I can get this to yeah, my internet is just not doing too good. It's probably because it's snowing pretty hard here, so that's probably messing with the internet a little bit. Alright, that's just not going to load. We're just not having much luck. Let me check this. We have a new tornado warning right now. So we have a tornado warning for northeastern Chilton County in central Alabama, southeastern Shelby County in central Alabama, east central Bibb County in central Alabama till 10:45 Central Time. Severe thunderstorm producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage were located along a line extending from Briarfield Ironworks Park to Chilton County Motorsports Park, moving east at 40 miles an hour. So you have not only tornadoes, you have severe straight line winds. And let me, so yeah, this is just below where the other tornado has already left a path. So these things are kind of redeveloping in the same areas. Let me see if I'm at the best radar to look at this. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the base reflectivity first. And we'll go ahead. Here we are. So it's finally loaded. We'll see if we see. Yep, there's a hail core right in that storm right there. So you got severe weather right in the top of that. Look at how they're spinning around, man. This is like one giant vortex. You got a hail core in that storm. So definitely wicked little storm right there, going up right at the edge of Tennessee, Alabama. That thing's like a miniature cyclone right there. Now let me put it on the base velocity, and then we'll look at the correlation to see if there's any kind of debris in it. Wow, that's definitely a tornado right there. That thing's coming in like a miniature vortex. And it's not even with the outflowing and incoming winds. It's like spinning by itself. And I'll highlight this. Let me zoom in on this thing because this is pretty freaky. So right here comes the spinning vortex. Look at that. That was a tornado without the incoming and outgoing winds. Let me put that on the correlation, see if there was debris in that. That was insane. I've never seen that like that before. I've never seen like that had to be one big spinning, rotating storm to create its own signature like that. I mean, that's massive. Hold on, I gotta study this for a second here. This is yeah, it's hard to tell with that one. Yeah, it's right there, but it's not even really. Let me try something else here. Once I get it, I'll slow it down a little bit. So I want to see if it comes in on this. So yeah, there it is right there, man. It's going so fast. I got to slow it down. It's just going too fast. That thing was cruising. That's a standalone vortex. So I wonder if I can stop this and go a frame at a time. That way I can show you guys what I'm looking at. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at. And I'll highlight it. Okay, there it is right there. Okay, right here there's a real bright yellow dot in there. I'm going to back it up a few frames and see if I can zoom in any more. That's all the zoom I got here. Let me try to zoom in with the, because you guys need to see this. This is freaky. So this is a tornado right here, and I can't hit the forward button. Let's see if I can do it with the arrow keys. Right on, I can do it with the arrow keys. Right here you have a tornado, and you can see, look at that little, it's got a little debris signature in it. It's getting bigger. I mean, that's a huge tornado right there. It's like a standalone. It's right on the edge of the clouds. you also have circulation up ahead of it. And that thing dies right when it gets to the radar. What would be fascinating is to see this thing take out the next rad. But that'll never happen because they don't let them hit the next rads. Have you ever heard of a next rad getting took out by a tornado, even though they go in the tornado zones? No, they never. They steer it right around the next rad. It was really weird on the base velocity. Well, anyway, heads up if you're in this area, because they got tornadoes still spinning up right now. Headed right for the next rad, too. Let me slow this thing down just a little as it comes. All right, so I'm going to try to keep my mouse on it. It's right here. There's a hell core involved, and it just starts rotating. It's monstrous. And the data wants to load. All right, so we'll try this again. Let me slow it down as this comes up. It's still going too fast, so we slow that down. All right, so here comes the tornado right here. It wasn't spinning, then all of a sudden you get a couple little hair cores. Now it's spinning. Now you have the rotation, and it's like a big vortex. It just skips right next to the next rad, but don't hit it. Yeah, Oregon had tornadoes last winter. We had tornadoes up in like New York. Look at that. You can just see that vortex right there. That is just completely insane. So watch this vortex form. Should be coming up. We got the microwave pulses, pulsing it. Here it is right here. And you can just see the circulation. You see the outflow of the rotation. Hey, thanks out there, Nancy. So let's go ahead and check it again. So nothing new right now. Let's go check Twitter. Get the latest here. Yeah, good. Yeah, there should be more tornado shelters. All right, so more damage coming out 23 seconds ago. Numerous tornado watches and warnings, 3 dead. It says they're under a tornado warning, but they don't tell you where it's at. And you got to remember, you got the straight line winds. This one was caught near Vernon Parish. This had to be earlier today because it's still light out. It's dark now. So it looks like the tornado watches are going to go deep into the night. Definite tornado right there. Let's go ahead and go up a little farther. And let's go ahead and check this radar and see what's happening on this one. We might be able to pick that tornado coming up through the southern part on this one. All right, so I'm just going to let this kind of play through. We'll kind of check it out. Maybe we can spot it before the actual weather service does. Look, we got another rotation up here, but it kind of died out. You got major straight line winds with the system going through Tennessee right now. That thing tried to spin up right there. But you did get, that is big time straight line winds. Let me get the other radar where I can look at the whole area. And then we can zoom in on the parts that we need to. Put this on the composite radar. Back in the day when we'd get freaky weather, that's because they hadn't perfected the weather programs. They've been doing weather modification since the 1890s. They'd shoot rockets up and explosives. They did all kinds of things to try to affect the weather. So here's our, we got a lot more tornado warnings going up. Now we're getting up into Tennessee, middle part of Alabama. Tons of places to watch. We seen that one. That was a definite huge tornado that just went through Alabama. Or that was that Alabama or was it Mississippi? No, that was Alabama, the one that just happened. So we were in the right area to watch, which is that radar, but we need to probably go up a notch. Yeah, volcanoes are definitely in an uptick. I'm thinking we're going to have a little more volcanic activity down off of New Zealand and Australia. Oh, I got to show you guys something too. Something I noticed. I think a volcano is going off up here in Alaska right now. Let me put the hot spots back up. There's a weird cloud over here. Let me see if I can check the layers. Yeah, I definitely think we have a volcano. I think there's a flume coming off the volcano up here. We have fires. It's marked in the red there. I don't know if you can see these 4 dots, but there's just a strange cloud right there. I've seen that earlier. Look, it goes from no cloud to a circular cloud right where the 4 hot spots are. And they weren't there yesterday. They just popped up. So nothing yesterday. And today we got 4 hot spots right where a volcano is. So we may have like a flume of stuff coming out of there. That was up in the Aleutian Island chain, up in around Alaska. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I'll try to get in. I really wanted to get into some earthquake activity tonight, but then all this severe weather pops up. You got a lot of straight line winds. I mean, this storm is just cruising. That's, surprisingly, you'd think with a fast moving storm you wouldn't get these long track tornadoes, but we're seeing them. I mean, that is just cruising like crazy. So this is going up into Tennessee. I'm not seeing a whole lot there. Let's go up. Or maybe let's go on the backside. Let's just try this one. You're in northwest Georgia. Yeah, hopefully you'll be getting past this here pretty quick. Oh, wow. A lot of stuff going on up here. That might have been that tornado we seen earlier up in the north part of Alabama. Let's get this thing all loaded up. So that was probably that tornado we seen earlier. Man, you got circulation right there too. But that was a little bit earlier. Let's kind of get up here into Tennessee Man, there's no radar really good to get to. We'll try that one. Yeah, that's about what we got right now here, where I'm at, 4 to 5 inches of snow. Temperature is supposed to get down to 10 degrees tonight. Now, there's going to be stuff falling out of the sky from these tornadoes. I mean, that stuff will be in the sky for hundreds of miles. You're going to be finding papers and no telling what just floating around the sky. Look at this. We have energy being pumped out of that next rad. Watch when this loops back through. Look, you got a beam. You got it in searchlight mode. But then look at these energy pulses. So they're sending out some RF out of the next rad down towards the storms. There they are. They're shooting. That thing should be spinning around. And it's not. It's pulsing energy out. It's sending signals out to the storm. Let me see where that is ending up. So if we're right there, that'd be this one. It's shooting down too. Yeah, that was a good interview with Ilana Freeland. Surprised more people didn't watch that, man. It didn't get very many views, really. So right now it's just still severe thunderstorm for Birmingham area. So this thing is heading pretty east. Hey, thanks out there, Christine. Much love out there. That helps a lot. You got a lot of, whenever you get these with the incoming and outgoing winds, and then they're out here by themselves, that's starting to spin up. And I wish I knew what these counties were. There might be a way I could put the counties on here. At least you used to be able to, but now you can't really do it. Let me check Twitter. See, these storms are so electrified, you can tell with that clip. And that's from all the heavy metals. 11 dead from the winter storm. So the tornado warning was canceled for Shelby, Alabama 1 minute ago. That's right where we've seen that rotation off by itself. Man, that thing got retweeted a lot. Yeah, actually there's you get quite a few tornadoes into December in the south, but I mean these tornadoes are much stronger than they should be, by like way stronger. So right now they're only showing the one tornado warning. We can check it again. I mean, I'm gonna have to jump off here soon, so see if they got that one canceled out yet. Still showing tornado warnings in the center of Alabama. And we'll check this again. So still no new tornado warnings, so this stuff should be winding down, man. It's getting really late. Temperatures should be cooling down. Let's go back into center Alabama. Yeah, I don't know that last year, I don't know if there's a month that we didn't have a tornado. That's how many tornadoes that they're spawning up. They're year long now. It's year-long events. I remember when I first started doing the weather stuff, every year it was something new, like the first earliest typhoon ever recorded, be the first earliest hurricane. You know, they're perfecting. Look at that spin up right there. Is that same tornado we seen earlier? Yeah, that's the same tornado. And we are up to date now. Look, the tornado was headed right for the next rad. It dies out and skates right beside it. Yeah, like this tornado, it stands out so good that like you can't deny that's definitely rotating. It's definitely huge. Yeah, that's just undeniable right there, man. That's a monster. That's probably the tornado that did all the damage. I don't know if that's the 63-mile long path tornado. I don't think so. I think that was over in Mississippi. So they're really not issuing anything new right now. It's all just try to refresh. So I want that on every 2 minutes. All right, so that might help us a little bit. Man, that thing was directly going for the next rad, like right at it. Yeah, that was Louisiana. That's what I thought. Yeah, I couldn't get to a computer to document that one. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and have to jump off here. And want to thank everybody out there that helps us and shares the information out. We'll keep looking at this. Hopefully there's no more tonight. And everybody gets through the night without getting a bunch of damage. This thing has to be winding down soon. It's getting late enough. These things shouldn't be spawning up. Especially like that there. That's a monster tornado right there. And we'll check this one more time before we go. We put it in motion so it updates. See, yeah, they're actually starting to wind down. There's no warnings right now, right at this minute. So it finally updated. I gotta let it load. It ain't loaded all the way up yet. Yeah, that's definitely a major tornado outbreak for December with long track tornadoes. Hopefully there's not going to be any super late nighttime tornadoes. They're still showing that warning there, but by the radar it doesn't look near as strong. Hopefully all the particulates are boiled out of that thing. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise. People need to rise. People need to look up to the sky and see the lies, man. Anyway, here we go, guys. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing.